Hello indie game fans, the summer of no games continues with just a handful of interesting releases this week, where I might be a little meaner than usual but with good intentions, so sharpen those knives and sit down for another edition of Indie Gaming this week. Let's begin with Arcadegeddon, a co-op third-person shooter that just looks like the most nothing burger of a game with not a great name. This is somehow releasing out of early access and looks like a bad Fortnite clone, where it comes to us from developer Ilphonic, who made decent games like Dead by Daylight and most recently Predator Hunting Grounds, so I suppose I was expecting more. It is a story about trying to save a local arcade against a mega corporation, but where hackers introduce viruses into the games and you have to fight your way through, well, I don't think it was helped by the epic exclusivity on PC, but perhaps they've already recouped their development costs from Uncle Tim. We also have the Steam release of Overrogue, a title from Japanese developer EXE Create, who have just been pumping out JRPGs on mobile, but interestingly, this is a change from their usual offering in being a roguelite deck builder. I know, many of you are sick of this genre by now, but I personally love it, where this does look to be more simplified and accessible, but still deep enough to be interesting. I covered Dragon Forge not too long ago, where most curiously, this game has you playing as a dragon that is somehow able to build up a medieval base and eventually use it to maximize production factorial style, but without opposable thumbs, I don't think that really makes any sense. It is probably explained away by magic, where there are combat and exploration elements as well. I don't quite know what to make of this, but apparently, Klonoa Phantasy Reverie series is a remaster of a mascot platformer from God knows when, and since I am completely new to this, it looks like a 2.5D platformer that does look pretty alright. I've heard that this series has its fans, and from the footage here, looks inoffensive to say the least, so I hope that this remaster lives up to the expectations of longtime fans and would be a decent introduction to a new generation. A very pretty looking game is Resonance of the Ocean, a hand-drawn title where you're collecting junk on the seashore, using it to make instruments in order to answer the echoes heard beyond the ocean. It looks rather serene and meditative, with a great look as well, and I believe it's supposed to be free, so why not check this out.
Dinner's ready.
Be there in just a second, Mom.
There are dark things in this forest, and you are not one of them. You have to help us, save us from her.
Alright, I have a big issue with Witch Strandings since this game was actually shown during the summer showcases, and for all the glitz and glamour of this live action trailer, I have absolutely no idea what is going on with this game. Is it a puzzle game, strategy game, roguelike, or something else entirely? I have absolutely no idea. So indie developers, please get someone to look at things like this before throwing a whole bunch of money down the drain.
Losing my mind. I cannot trust anyone, not even Albert. If you are listening to this, Blue Knees is real.
Alright, I'm not a horror game person, so from the outside, MADiSON does look like a very creepy one of these where you're using an instant camera to reveal all sorts of monsters, and that is pretty much it from me, so I'm fast forwarding through the rest of this and skipping to the next game.
I can feel it breathing right by me. Sing that fucking song over and over and over and over.
Alright, time for something very different with Pomo Farm, an adorable idle game that doubles as a productivity tool. I'm on a little bit of a productivity bender myself, trying to become as efficient as I can in order to make more videos for you. And if you've been in these circles, you will know the Pomodoro method, where you work for 25 minutes, take a break for 5, and then repeat in several cycles, where this game does help you visualize as the cute duck goes about farming, looking absolutely adorable.
うすうす感づいていらっしゃるでしょ？今この場にいる人間は冤罪を主張していること。
ギネさん、これ本物の火だよ。
One of the reasons why I love Yuru Kill, the Calumnation games, is that despite coming from relatively large Japanese developers, they're still taking a risk and doing something weird with this game, giving me hope that it is not just indie developers trying to push the envelope of games.
加減にしろよてめえ。
マジプーだわ。私が誰か忘れてない？
ここは何の店でしょうか？
無事に終わるなら何でもいいです。
こんなもの私の手にかかれば辞意に等しい。事件記録。
玄徳さんってとってもいい人なんですね。すっごい建物だね。
壮観ですね。
This trailer opens very much like a visual novel or adventure game of the murder mystery variety, much like your Danganronpas of the world, but halfway through the trailer, it reveals its hand in crossing this with a bullet hell shoot 'em up of all things, which is such a fascinating concept.
今の神楽に話は通じねえ。もう限界だ。このままでは死んでしまう。
何も知らないままで死んでしまう。
In addition to pure action, there are puzzle elements that feed into the investigation and interrogation as well, and despite this trailer being in Japanese, does have English subtitles and UI translation, making it quite the curiosity for the week.
ゆるキルジャッジメントスタートです。
Boot up your Sawayama Powerlands and dial into
A developer that has constantly fascinated me over the past 6 years or so that I've been running this channel is Zachtronics, known for their puzzle games like Opus Magnum, Shenzhen IO, Exapunks, and going further back, titles like Space Camp and Infinifactory. So with a heavy heart, I'm sharing that Last Call BBS will officially be their last title. But at least they get to go out on their own terms. This is a collection of 8 full games, which I expect to be the same kind of head-scratching fun, but it is truly the end of an era, so here's wishing all the team members nothing but the best, taking the #1 spot. For more of the best indie games, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.
Last Call BBS from Zachary Onyx.